What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of ZombieBot. As promised, we are here with the second half of our Sony review series. Today we've got a little bit more of an interesting model because it's higher up the spec chain. Today we are reviewing the Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra, something that's a little bit higher up the spec food chain. So without further ado, let's get into the video, guys. And here we are. This is the box, of course, where we have the phone. Looking at the back of the box, we can see this phone comes just some basic outlines of the features. We can see this phone comes with a 23 megapixel camera, a 16 megapixel front camera, and as mentioned before in the previous video, we did say that Sony phones come with jam-packed with a range of image features and options. So this phone comes stock standard with the 120 degree pan image software, where you can basically take 2 or 3 separate images and sort of collate them together and have almost like a 120 or 180 experience. That's pretty cool. I'm sure some of you guys have seen that on Facebook. 15.2 centimeter full HD display, so it's a 1080 panel. That's cool. USB Type-C, faster charging of course for your device. 3580 milliamp hour battery. I would say that's a little bit above average. There are some phones that are starting to come with a 4000 milliamp hour power bank. Qualcomm Snapdragon 630. This is just above the mid-tier range of Qualcomm that you would find in phones. Not the fastest in the range, but still pretty powerful if you know how to manage software and utilize certain features. Those features we will be getting into later in this phone, because it does have quite a lot of unique optimization features. And of course, onboard 32 gigabyte storage. This is of course expandable, with another memory card, the capacity of which I think goes up to 256 gigabytes. What you would do with 256 gigabytes, unless you are working like everything off your phone, I'm not sure. This is a phone that would be able to support the mobile versions of Microsoft Office and what have you. So yeah. Correction, for the front of the camera we actually have 2 sensors. One, I am assuming, would be a wide angle lens. So with the 120 degree feature, both those cameras would be merged together, so the wide angle would actually allow you to take photos that would be collated together and allowing you to pan across the image, I think to 120 degrees. So with all that basic stuff gone over, let's get into the contents of the box. So unboxing the phone, we obviously have the phone itself inside. 15.2 centimeter full HD display, and it's also you can see the thickness of the phone itself. It's not the smallest phone, but the width obviously allows a decent grip, but then again, I'd consider myself having larger hands than most, so for me this is quite a comfortable fit. Earphones and the charger with the cable. Pretty simple in terms of as far as contents go, but that being said, that of course allows us more time to look at the actual device. First impressions, the display and the response time on the phone is really impressive. I like the look and feel of the skin on the phone. It looks like it comes pretty much stock standard, but there are a few other applications that come preloaded on the phone. It really does feel like you're holding a premium device in the hand. There's no two ways about it. So we've got 2 speakers on the phone in terms of sound. There is a downward facing speaker right about there. You can see it on the bottom of the phone, and then we've got a front facing speaker which is basically on the top. Very, very small slit on the top you can see on the phone. Sound test, but obviously I would play some music, but YouTube of course does not permit copyrighted music to be played on any channel.
Wait, I got one for you.
Getting back to the visual capabilities of the phone, you can now see that we are actually shooting off the Xperia XA2 Ultra, and from where I'm sitting, it does look quite good. The phone's ability to capture motion, range and color is very impressive. Sony, I did mention in the previous video that Canon's main competitor is Sony. So of course, this ability to shoot in 4K is something that a lot of camera enthusiasts, whether they're on YouTube or other platforms, have asked for in cell phones for a long time. And in fact, many cameras are only now starting to catch up or include the ability to capture 4K. So this feature in the phone is quite nice, to say the least, especially for vloggers, those of you who want to capture and share your daily experiences. This feature is almost invaluable because the quality of your video often does determine the number of views or followers you do get. Like I said before, the phone does have a 645 Snapdragon processor. It is just above mid-range, but because this phone and because Sony are so meticulous and pay attention to so much detail, this phone's optimal features for gaming include the ability to optimize the phone's performance, run and open or close apps according to how fast you want the phone to be optimized for gaming. I find that to be a very impressive feature. It's just those small details that the manufacturer pays attention to that really give the user experience just above, top-notch level for any customer, and it's something I think a lot of people would appreciate once they hold this phone in their hand. So all in all, the aesthetics of the phone don't immediately impress, but it's only once you dig into the phone's features and start playing with it that you come to appreciate the attention to detail that Sony have created beyond the aesthetics or the outside looks of the phone. So even though the phone is a bit thicker than most and doesn't exactly have the sleek beauty that you'd find on many other devices, the build design itself is quite sturdy, quite bold. So God forbid, of course, if you may drop this phone and it does happen to be in its plastic sleeve, I don't think anyone, the user or anyone else, would be worried about any sort of damage that this phone might accrue. This, of course, is in addition to the phone's Gorilla Glass 4 feature. So the tempered glass in the front would ensure that no matter how robust the user might be with the phone, you'd almost be guaranteed that minimal scratching and dents would occur on the front screen. So overall, pros would be a very strong, sturdy build design. That would go sort of in congruence with some of the cons. Obviously, it's not a very sleek or thin, skinny phone, but the weight, there is a bit of a heft. I'd put this phone at about 180 grams. Not the lightest phone, but all of those other features, I'd say, are trumped way past the phone's software incorporations. A lot of the optimizations that you get with the software when you're gaming. The image quality, of course, is something we've said time and time again in the previous video of the Xperia X1. If you are looking for a phone that is solely focused on image quality and image features, the 120-degree landscape feature, of course, for those of you that are into vlogging and are all about applications like Instagram or Facebook, fantastic value for money. Back to some of the phone's other features, the sturdy build also includes Gorilla Glass 4. Of course, this is the scratch-resistant tempered glass technology that's found on only a few selected phones, so a bit of hardy use whether you drop the phone or scratch it. So there you have it, guys. Those are just some of the preliminary features that we have found on the Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra. The footage on the phone does come with a little bit of an autofocus and coloration discrepancy. However, I think if one spends enough time with the phone, I think some features that do accommodate for those faults are there, which leads me to another admission. We did not get to spend enough time with this phone. However, we will be spending enough time with it to do an updated full-length review of the phone for those of you who are serious about making a purchase. Please give this video a like and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We will be coming up with more content. The Doogee Mix 2, the Cubo X20, that's also an interesting phone as well. I think most of you will find that quite surprising in terms of its price range. Yeah, but before that we will be uploading footage from Comic-Con. Really excited for that as well. So guys, hope you enjoyed this one, and until next time, stay safe, prosper, keep the peace, and just look after yourselves, guys. We'll see you in the next one.